very tough to stop. The good wrestlers in college, that's all they use. You see heavyweights doing this stuff. You know, and the good guys, like guys on my team that got really good, the region champ guys, and Coach Dandry knows them as well, they got so good that they hit this stuff from like on their feet. A guy high crotches you. You know, you keep him blocked off. If you get this guy in a bad position where he lifts, you can honestly T-bar tilt right from there and get a 5-point move from his shot. I mean, there are a lot of situations. You know, the same type of thing. If a guy hits a high crotch and you drag, you're right in that position where you just want to be. You're right there. You're still on your feet and you're still neutral. But it takes confidence, and the way you get confidence is you practice it every day. I did it in high school. I got committed to this stuff because I knew how many guys in here are going to bench press 300 pounds and going out there like the guys like your Seidenberg guy. It's just a stud that's going to go out there and rip people, you know, up. Not too many guys are going to like this, so you got to go to plan B. Plan B might be you get good at something and no one else can counter. And I liked it that I could beat the crap out of people when I was a skinny guy. Because I couldn't do it conventionally, because you know, they would kill me if I wrestled conventionally. This gave me, the more the guy was like this Popeye strong guy, the better I liked it. Because they're the guys that went over easier. And you made them look like fools. Because they were stiff, and you can lock this stuff up and roll around with them. The guys that I really feared were, you know, the real long, skinny guys, like me. They were the ones that gave me all kinds of trouble. Especially the real funky guys, because it just neutralized everything I did. So, I will come back. I mean, some of this stuff, again, you might not think it looks good, but if you practice it, you'll find out, you can tweak it, and it'll work for you. Well, anybody any questions?
Well, you've got to have pinholes. You've got to have a pinhole where you can pin a guy, or you've got to have a back point hold where you can score points. Because you know what wrestling is today. Most of it's on your feet, and you know damn well that if you don't have a pinhole, if you lose by 3 or 4 points, that's an awful lot of takedowns you're going to have to get to make up that difference. So you've got to take a shortcut to score those points. And you see some guys in that third period, they tilt the guy like a pinball machine, man. And now every time he turns around, he's back bam, 1, 2 count, puts it right back up, and 2, all of a sudden, down again, and bam, bam, 2, put it back up. And just score all these points at the end of the match, and that's the end of that. And you've got to have that pinhole.
He's a very, very wise man, I'm telling you.
You've got to have it. Because you know what I'm saying. Some of you guys say, you know that if you're down by 4 or 5 points, this match is over, right? Right? How am I going to score 4 or 5 points? Some tilts, cradles. You've got to have a pinhole.
I'll end with one more story and I'll put it in perspective for you. And this is it, my last story. And this is good because my college coach was very, very tough. His name was Roger Sanders. And when I was a freshman, I told you I was 16 and 14. I had to wrestle this guy, Don Roan. He was the NCAA champ. Bench pressed like 400 pounds. He was about that tall. And he was a gorilla, and I feared him. I didn't want to wrestle this guy. He just was kill people. And it was a big conference match, and you know I didn't want to go out there and get crushed. Well, I wrestled him out of fear, but I really gave him fits because of the way I wrestled. And I actually only lost to him like 16 to 13. I gave him fits. I gave him a real good match. After the match is over, and this will put it in perspective for you, and this will make some of you guys think. I woke up the mat and I had a smile on my face. I was happy. I lost to a guy like a national champ by 3 points. Everybody was patting me on the back. I'm like, yeah. My coach, I can see, was PO'd. And he was a real tough man. He looked like a rock'em sock'em robot. You know them toys? He had like the square jaw. He was just a monster. And I tell the story a lot. And he sat me down. I'll never forget it. And I thought he was going to start screaming at me because he was a yeller. And he was real calm. He goes, I'm going to tell you a story. And this really is pretty cool. I go, okay. And he goes, these twin boys grew up in the 60s. They were big-time Yankee fans. They loved Mickey Mantle. And they came from a poor family. They were twins, twin brothers, and they did everything together. They were equal in sports and school, everything. So finally the father gets up enough money to take them to a Yankee game. They're in the right field bleachers, bottom of the first, Mickey Mantle comes up. He hits a line drive shot over the right field wall. The ball lands in the aisle between where the 2 twins were. Both twins get their hands on the ball. They fight for it. The one twin gets it, the other one doesn't. Then Coach Sanders said to me, why do you think the one twin got the ball? I said, well, because he wanted it. And that's when he snapped out on me. He goes, that's where you're wrong, and that's why you lost that match. Everybody wants it. Everybody wants to win the match. Everybody wants a good job. Everybody wants the good-looking girlfriend. Everybody wants the good things. But that guy got that ball. The one kid got the ball because he needed it. That guy out there needed to win the match. You just wanted to win the match. And that's why he got his hand raised and you lost. And that put it in perspective for me. So you have to need to want to be a champion. You don't have to want it, you have to need it. It has to be every part of your being. And when you need it, you're going to do everything it takes to keep it or to get it. If you want it, everybody wants it. And you're going to be just like everybody else. So that's a true story. And he probably used it all the time, but it was a good time to use it on me, and it basically said to me, you know, just because you lost to the guy, you still lost. It doesn't make a difference. You lost. And the object is to win. So I thought it was pretty good. And I used it in class a lot, and I changed the story around, but it was pretty much that way. And, you know, the next time I wrestled him, he beat me 19-4. But